Good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to be with all of you. We're very pleased to be here with our former colleague and friend, Ted Deutsch, and I'm also pleased to be here with my colleague, Congressman Brad Schneider, and together we helped launch the Abraham Accords Caucus on Capitol Hill in 2022. Psalm 122 says, "Pray for peace in Jerusalem. May all who love this city prosper. O Jerusalem, may there be peace within your walls and prosperity in your palaces. For the sake of my family and friends, I will say, may you have peace. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek what is best for you, O Jerusalem." When we started the Abraham Accords Caucus in 2022, we saw a unique opportunity and the importance of bringing world leaders together in a common pursuit of creating a better, safer, more prosperous world for our children and our grandchildren, and it has been a great success. With the help of our bipartisan colleagues in Congress and the support of our partners like AJC, we continue to make progress to uphold and promote the values of human dignity, freedom, and hope around the globe. Clearly, there's more work to be done. We all saw what happened on October 7th, 2023. We saw Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists attack Israel by land and water and sea, launch a barrage of rockets into Jerusalem, brutally murdering more than 1,400 innocent people, including 32 American citizens, and taking another 250 hostage. Let me be clear. The United States of America stands with Israel. And we will not rest until all of the hostages return home. Throughout our nation's history, there's been moments where strong moral clarity propelled us to a brighter future, where freedom and love prevailed over tyranny and hate. Times when we stood shoulder to shoulder to call evil what it was, evil, and committed ourselves to do everything within our power to root it out. I just was reminded of this during my trip to Normandy to help celebrate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And this is one of those times. For the victims, their families, and the state of Israel, the United States of America must lead with conviction and moral clarity. And that's why I'm proud of the work that we've done, Democrats and Republicans, in the weeks and months following the attacks of October 7th. I'm especially proud of the work that we have done with the Abraham Accords Caucus. We have drafted and passed and got signed into law the Defend Act, the Maritime Act. These two bills will help the United States and our partners in the Middle East develop a comprehensive security package and strategy to defend the growing threat posed by Iran and its proxies, and a need that's been underscored by Iran's material and financial support of Hamas and Hezbollah. We also supported a bill to force the sale of TikTok, where the posts on TikTok were 1,000 to 1 pro-Palestinian. As most of you know, things are going to look a little different for me at the end of this year, as I'm not seeking re-election. But as I reflect on my time in the People's House, my heart is full with gratitude for those who I've served with and organizations like AJC who have been such incredible partners through the years. In my office, I have a quote by Rabbi Schneerson that reads, "Remember that even in the darkest place, the light of a single candle can be seen far and wide." Each one of you here today is a light. Continue to shine brightly for everyone to see, especially for our brothers and sisters in Israel during this hour of darkness. And moving forward, I am confident that your organization and our caucus will continue to make a huge difference with the leadership of Congressman Brad Schneider. And I'm proud to introduce my colleague, my friend, the leader of the Abraham Accords Caucus on Capitol Hill, the gentleman from Illinois, Congressman Brad Schneider.
Good morning. It is so good to be here with you. I'd say it's good to see you, but all I see is some blue lights. But I know that you're out there. And believe me, I do know that you are out there. I also, when I was younger, I was a part of AJC. And I was proud to be a part of AJC, a part of the board in Chicago. Now that I'm older and I have small print, I can't read my remarks. You're going to get it from the heart. I want to thank my friend, Cathy McMorris Rodgers. First, thank her for her service. She has been a leader in Congress, and she has been not just a partner, but an extraordinary leader in supporting a strong U.S.-Israel relationship. And she touched on the importance of the Abraham Accords Caucus. I'll start with the Abraham Accords. 4 years ago, or almost 4 years ago, I remember exactly where I was. It was August 13th when the announcement came out that there was going to be a normalization with Israel. Now, I remember where I was in 1977 when Sadat flew to Jerusalem. I remember the signing of the Camp David Accords, I remember the handshake on the lawn in September of 1993 and the signing of the treaty with Jordan in 1994. But in all of those moments, there was never true talk of normalization, of integration, of a different vision for the Middle East. And as Tal Becker says, and I often quote, the Abraham Accords, for the first time, put into writing, codified the idea that both Jews and Arabs belong to the same land. And that by recognizing that fact and building on that fact, we can change the future for the Middle East, break the gravitational bounds of history, and create a prosperous, secure, and peaceful tomorrow that includes Israel as a part of the greater region. And that's why we formed the Abraham Accords Caucus in 2022. Bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats. Bicameral, House and Senate, which maybe is even more difficult than bipartisan. Coming together, and as Cathy mentioned, passing the Defend Act, the coordinated air defenses that we saw how important that was on April 13th of this year, when with Israel, the United States, and our allies, we defeated the attack from Iran. The Maritime Act that brings that same coordination to surface warfare on the water. And we also passed the Israel Relations Normalization Act, because that is the future. So where are we today? I was asked in the back, how's it going? And I thought about this, and I came up with what I thought was an interesting juxtaposition. Every day we know what we have to do. When we wake up, I know we have to bring the hostages home. We have to ensure that Israel can protect its citizens, defend its borders, and rescue the hostages. We know that we have to stand strong against the haters and the deniers and ensure that not only is October 7th never forgotten, that October 7th can never, ever happen again. I can tell you what I have to do today. I come here, I go and I work with my colleagues and stand up against those who stand against us. And I do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. What's harder is to say, what do we do to secure the peace a year from now or a decade from now? How do we ensure that the next generation will know peace and security? How do we guarantee that the families that move back to the communities along Gaza, to Nir Oz, to Be'eri, Kfar Aza, to the communities in the north that are evacuated, Metula, Kiryat Shmona, how do we make sure that their children don't lie awake at night worrying about what might come up from underground or what might fall from the skies? And that's, again, why the Abraham Accords are so important. The different future for Israel depends on us finding and charting a path to peace that includes Israel in the region, without question, without denial, without discrimination. So let me finish by saying thanks to all of you for being here, for doing what we have to do today. I know from here you go to Capitol Hill to speak with our colleagues. Thank those who are standing with us, ensuring Israel and the U.S.-Israel relationship remain ironclad, unbreakable, and strong. And they are the majority. They are the 366 who voted to send aid to Israel as it fights its existential battle with Hamas. And stay focused on the future. Last week, Cathy and I, through the Abraham Accords Caucus, we kicked off the Gaza Working Group. There were a dozen of us in the room, members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, talking about the future. Talking about a future in which Hamas cannot reign terror over Gaza or threaten Israel. Talking about a future where Israel can stand strong and be part of the region. Where we can build on the treaties with UAE and Bahrain and Morocco, and look forward to the possibility of normalization with Saudi Arabia and all the other countries of the region. That is the future we believe in. That's the future we have to fight for. We can't give up that hope. We can't give up on the promise of the Abraham Accords. And together, we can make sure that that promise becomes a reality. Am Yisrael Chai.
Thank you.